Hey, I'm Matt Williams, and I'm a first-year student athlete here at UNC Chapel Hill. So I was born about 45 minutes from here in a suburb of Raleigh. My hometown is Apex, North Carolina, or the peak of good living as they call it. It sounds like some lame slogan for a day spa, not exactly a town motto. Anyway, I grew up in a modest house there with my parents and my two siblings. Melanie's my older sister, and she's a senior here at UNC. My younger brother is Jeff, and he's a senior at Cardinal Gibbons High School over in Raleigh, and he's one of my best friends. My parents both grew up in Connecticut, where they attended UConn, and they met in a psychology class where my dad managed to pick up my mom with the line, "Nice shoes." Embarrassing. My dad played soccer in college, and it was a good way of getting us outside while my mom worked in her garden. My brother and I grew out of soccer, but Mel continued to play throughout high school. Jeff ended up in lacrosse, and I found wrestling at a young age. Wrestling became my passion, and I am blessed to compete at the collegiate level today. My parents made childhood easy. They loved us, cared for us, taught us, but they never sheltered us. There was no reason in my young mind why I ever thought life would break this pattern. Half awake, I remember hearing, "Wake up, David," over and over. So I went with Jeff and Mel to my parents' room and saw my dad there motionless. We were so naive, and we actually tried to jump on his bed and cuddle with him, trying to wake him up. So my father had been diagnosed with encephalitis, which is a fancy name for brain swelling. Apparently, some infected tick or mosquito bit him. Simple as that. The doctors gave my dad 3 months to live, and if he survived, they predicted he would be a vegetable. For some reason, I have no memory of anything from the day they took him until the day he returned home. My mom was too scared to let us visit him in the hospital, but my dad survived symptom-free. When I came across Langston Hughes' poem, Mother to Son, I immediately connected to its meaning and its metaphors. I read the poem as if the speaker was my dad, talking to his son, me. Mother to Son by Langston Hughes. Well, son, I'll tell you, life for me ain't been no crystal stair. It's had tacks in it, and splinters, and boards torn up, and places with no carpet on the floor. Bare. But all the time I've been climbing on, and reaching landings, and turning corners, and sometimes going in the dark, where there ain't been no light. So boy, don't you turn back. Don't you sit down on the steps, 'cause you find it's kinda hard. Don't you fall now, for I still going, honey. I still climbing, and life for me ain't been no crystal stair. The poem is written in the voice of a mother, who addresses her son about the hardships of life. The poem is about perseverance and not quitting. The mom says that life for me ain't been no crystal stair. Hearing this, I thought of the struggle my father went through. Oftentimes I complain or stress about everyday things, but in the poem it says, "Don't you turn back. Don't you sit down on the steps, 'cause you find it's kinda hard." Every day when we have practice here at 7:30 a.m., we are usually tired or sore, but usually both. These lines make me remember how lucky I am to simply be alive and healthy, and help me focus on the bigger picture in life. After his illness, my dad became a different person. Religion entered our house, along with his repetition of homemade inspirational quotes, which I now receive in the form of text. I secretly love getting them. We don't talk about it much, but I can tell that after his accident, my dad really began to cherish life and realize how short we all have on this earth. This poem reminds me of him, makes me smile, and truly understand his outlook on life. He always tells me that the hardships we face on a daily basis should never overwhelm us, and that no matter how hard things seem to get, we are still alive and able to love and think and feel. I know it sounds cliche, but my father is definitely the biggest role model and inspiration in my life.